Hi, thank you for joining me today as I'm going to be talking to you about the importance of leveraging English language assets and fostering strong home and school connections. Pardon me as I have a cold from my students. As educators, our role extends beyond teaching language skills. We also are responsible for creating an inclusive environment that values the rich culture and linguistic resources our students bring into the classroom. By adopting an asset based approach, we can bridge inequities and ensure ELs thrive academically and socially. First, let's talk about the culturally responsive teaching. Culture plays a significant role in how students learn, communicate, and interact within the classroom. Cultural influences shape students' values, perspectives, and expectations, which mean that understanding their backgrounds is essential for effective instruction. Cultural competence, the ability to recognize, understand, and respect cultural differences, enhances our ability to support ELs meaningfully. When we integrate students' cultural values and beliefs into instruction, we make learning more relevant and engaging for them. This can be done by incorporating diverse literature, storytelling, and real world applications that reflect students' backgrounds. The role of culture in student learning. A student's culture influences their motivation, engagement, and language acquisition. Creating an inclusive classroom environment means using culturally responsive teaching strategies such as establishing a welcome atmosphere with visual representations of diverse cultures, encouraging students to share their cultural traditions through projects, using bilingual resources and allowing students to use their home language as a bridge to English proficiency. I teach preschool, so I have seen firsthand how incorporating a student's home culture makes a difference in our classroom. I once had a student from Mexico who was very quiet during circle time. However, after introducing a song in Spanish, the kid, his face lit up the room. He began participating more enthusiastically. This small shift not only built his confidence, but also encouraged his peers to appreciate and learn from different languages. Some strategies for helping celebrate cultural diversity and leveraging home language. To celebrate cultural diversity in the preschool classroom, consider hosting cultural appreciation days where student families can share traditions and stories, incorporating multicultural books, music, and art in daily instruction, using peer learning opportunities where bilingual students support their peers, encouraging students to maintain and use their home language as cognitive and academic advantage. Research shows that bilingualism strengthens cognitive flexibility and problem-solving skills. For example, I once had a preschooler who speaks Spanish at home and initially hesitated to use English in class. By allowing him to teach us a few words in Spanish during our morning meetings, he felt proud of his identity, and his classmates became excited to learn new words. These small supports make a huge difference in an EL student's language learning journey. By allowing him to teach us a few words in Spanish during our morning meetings, he felt proud of his identity, and his classmates became more excited to learn new words. These small supports make a huge difference in an EL student's learning journey. How we can support the needs of ELs in the classroom. Some strategies that we can use is each EL student comes with unique strengths, learning needs, and identities. To provide differentiated support, we can use visual aids, gestures, and hands-on activities to reinforce understanding, implement flexible grouping to encourage collaborative learning, offer targeted language support through interactive play and structured conversations. In my experience, I have one of the most effective strategies have been using picture cards and puppets to encourage ELs to engage in storytelling. I had a preschool who was hesitant to speak English, but after introducing puppets into our dramatic play, he began using more English words as he acted our stories. Social emotional learning, often referred to as SEL, is a vital component of EL success. Many EL students experience challenges such as language barriers, cultural adjustments, and social isolation. To address these, we should create a nurturing environment where students feel safe and valued incorporate SEL strategies such as mindfulness exercises and emotional check ins, establish classroom norms that promote empathy and peer support. One approach that I use in my classroom every single day is when they come in, the students have an emotional check-in, so where they are given a visual cue, which is like their name, and they can either put it as a happy face or a sad face to express how they are feeling that day. This helps me gauge emotional well-being and allows me to have private conversations if a student is feeling overwhelmed. I've seen this practice help EL students feel more comfortable expressing themselves and seek support when needed. Let's talk about home and school connections. The influences of family and community on language learning. Family and community practices, often referred to as funds for knowledge, are rich resources that influence language learning. Students bring their home experiences, traditions, and linguistic skills into the classroom, which should be recognized as strengths. A child who speaks multiple languages at home, for example, has already developed complex cognitive skills that support academic learning. Some strategies for building home, family, and community partnerships. To foster strong family and home and school connections, we must create meaningful opportunities for family engagement. Some effective strategies include regular multilingual communication. Providing newsletters, emails, and digital updates in families' home languages ensures accessibility and inclusion. Cultural relevant family events. So, organizing events such as multilingual storytime sessions or parent workshops, encouraging active participation and connection. Homeschool learning bridges. Encouraging families to engage in learning activities at home, such as singing songs in their native language, reinforces literacy development. Community engagement. Partnership with local cultural organizations, bilingual mentors, and community centers can provide additional support for EL families and enrich the school's cultural responsiveness. While I have not had an opportunity to do this yet, um, I've thought about doing like a story time with the families. We have to do a family engagement every month, maybe once or twice a month. I thought it'd be really cool to have a story time with families. I'm eager to implement similar activities in the future. I believe that inviting families to share their stories of their home language would create a welcoming environment for EL's families and help students see their home languages as valuable. Building these connections can foster a sense of community and enhance student language development. Not only does would this create a welcoming environment for your EL families, but it also would help to see their home language as valuable. One parent, when I mentioned this to her, she hadn't felt never felt so included in her child education before. Moments like these remind us why this connection matters. By embracing an asset-based approach, we empower our English learners by recognizing their cultural and linguistic resources as strengths rather than obstacles. Creating inclusive classrooms, supporting social emotional needs, and fostering strong family partnerships are all critical components in helping ELs succeed. Let's continue to advocate for culturally responsive practices and ensure every student feels valued, supported, and inspired to achieve their fullest potential. Thank you for your dedication to our diverse learners.